What's going on? Welcome to the weekly axe kicking. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at part of my practicing routine for acoustic guitar. We're going to take a look at the picking portion of it. So since we'll be using a pick and an acoustic guitar, there will be no classical playing today, so we don't need these nicely filed classical guitar nails, and we can certainly do away with the nail file, in this case a 7-sided nail file. Lame. Actually, to be honest, it's not lame. These two sides you can kind of shape it, and then the third side you could shape it. You could even it out and smooth it and stuff. It's really convenient and totally awesome. But whatever, that's besides the point, because today we acoustically rock. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you 3 different acoustic guitar exercises and the different little subcomponents or whatever that I use to really get a lot out of each of these 3 exercises. So we're going to be using a metronome, so make sure you have that handy, and let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so again, before we get into this, make sure you have a metronome handy. The first thing I'm going to do is just strictly right hand, just this. And you can put some chords to this as well and make kind of like a funk strumming pattern. Whatever. The point is for the picking hand to just do this constant down up, and you want to emphasize certain, you want to make sure you give some downbeats some attention, some downstrokes, and some upbeats some attention as well. This is really good for kind of balancing out the strength of the picking hand. And when I show this to students, and when in my own practicing, this is not as effective when you do it for a minute. Sit down and do this for like 10 minutes. It's amazing how much it warms up the right hand, or the picking hand. So let's go ahead and put a metronome on. I will have a metronome at 72 beats per minute. And I'll start maybe just some triplets. Now I'll go on to 16ths, quarter note triplets. I'm sorry, 16th note triplets. Now, eventually we're going to get into 30 seconds, 8 notes per beat. So, and normally I would spend at least a couple minutes on each one. The great thing about that, especially with the triplets, is that you do get that emphasis. You want to emphasize each kind of downbeat, so it'd be like 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. In fact, now that I think about it, I think I covered a lot of this in the axe kicking number 26, 27, right around there. I think it was one of the how to practice acoustic, classical, and electric guitar videos. So that's the first thing I do. And again, for it to be very effective, give it a good 10-15 minutes. It is awesome. It's like my saving grace of picking, so check it out. Alright, so this next part is going to involve practicing some scales or some modes. I'm just going to go ahead and pick a key. Let's just say G major. And I'll start from the lowest position of the guitar. In this case, we'll just start on the open string, the E. So in the key of G major, this would be an E Aeolian, because it's built on the 6th degree of a G major scale. By the way, if any of that sounds foreign to you, book your free, no obligation trial lesson. Anyways, we're going to put on the metronome. I'm going to play the Aeolian mode up and down, keeping it at 3 notes per string. So it's going to look like this. And I'm going to do that with a metronome for triplets, 16ths, and quarter note 16th note triplets. I don't know why I keep saying quarter note. So let's give that a try. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Now I'm going to do 16ths. now 16th note triplets. Okay. Now let's talk about how we can make this a continuous exercise for endurance purposes. I'm going to go up the same mode. When I reach the highest note in this form, I will slide up to the next note of that G major scale, in this case from A to B, the second to the third degree, and descend the scale from there. So and then once I hit this low note, I will slide up to the next note with my first finger and ascend. When I hit here, ascend, and slide up and then descend. Again, if you're kind of thrown off on why I'm playing the notes I'm playing, it's all within one key. Again, check out the free trial lesson thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do a complete run through of this kind of exercise using this way of practicing through the modes with triplets, 16ths, and 16th note triplets. Let's give it a shot. Here it is with 16ths. Here it is with 16th note triplets. All right, now before we go on to the third and final part of this little practice routine, just keep in mind I'm leaving out a lot of things right now. I would then go through those modes and practice them in different intervals. I do it with a few different keys. I would throw in some melodic minors. Just there's a lot that I am leaving out. So this is just kind of the base level stuff. Now moving on, I want to work in an alternate picking thing of a song I like, or just any kind of piece of music, whether it's something I'm writing or something I'm trying to learn. In this case, I have been really into kind of rediscover the Dream Theater album, Scenes from a Memory. Awesome CD. And the second track, Overture 1928, has this really cool kind of scale run interlude that leads to one of the main themes. And played slow, it looks like this. So I'm going to go ahead and try to work that up with a metronome, and once again I will practice it with triplets, 16ths, and 16th note triplets. The final tempo, by the way, for that particular track on the recording is 16th note triplets at 108 beats per minute, and since I literally just started practicing it before I turned the camera on here, I'm not going to get quite that far, but let's see what happens. I'm going to start the metronome at 72. Cool. 16ths. 16th note triplets. Awesome. Now I'm going to run up the metronome very carefully by 3 notes per beat each time. So I'm at 75 BPM. And I'm going to shorten this up for the sake of the time length of the video. I'm going to do 16ths and then 16th note triplets. So here we go. 16ths at 75 BPM. Alright, 16th note triplets. I actually went sped up that time, so let's get it on tempo. Cool. 78 BPM, 16ths, and then the triplets. This is all basically a live practice session, I guess. Ah, crap. 16ths. Triplets. '84. Ah, 16ths. Triplets. '87. '90. Alright, so we're at 90 now, and those 16th note triplets were a little sketchy. Let me try to see if I can lock it down. Let's see here. Not good enough. Let's try it again. 2, 1, 1, not good enough. Alright, so there you go. Some acoustic guitar picking exercises that have been highly successful and produced some great results for me. You know, that's really only about a third of what I do picking-wise on acoustic when I'm practicing it. We left out a lot of good stuff, actually, but for the purposes of keeping this video somewhat short, we're going to leave it at that. If you'd like to know more, please feel free and go ahead and book your free, no-obligation trial lesson with me. We do it over Skype. I have a couple webcams at work for multiple angles for, you know, the fretting hand and whatnot, and it's very effective, and just give it a try. Nothing to lose. Cool. See you next week.